Hey everyone, I do apologize that it's taken me so long to put out this video. Unfortunately, I have been sick again. Yes, again. Today's the first day basically I've been able to talk for longer than 5 minutes without coughing. So there's been a ton of requests to talk about this in the comment section on Twitter, on Instagram, pretty much everywhere. Some people were even like shaming me and trying to degrade me because I hadn't talked about it yet. And it's like, I've been sick, just calm down.
And there's other good reasons.
Yeah, definitely.
There's reasons of letting the dust settle a bit.
Absolutely.
There's reasons of even the people who are right at the scene got some of the names mixed up just in the last few hours. That's been corrected to all kinds of grief, additional grief, and someone who had relief before now is grieving and the other way around. So there's no value in jumping into something when you still haven't processed it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I don't have to tell you what happened. The media covered it pretty in depth. There's been lots of pictures, and there's been it's been all over Canada media. I'm not sure what it was like in the States, but obviously a terrible tragedy happened, and 15 people lost their lives. And I first just want to read you the ages of some of the people who passed away, just to prove a point how unbelievably young these kids were. So 20, 42, which is the coach. He was married with 2 kids. 21, 16, 18, 21, 27, 18, 21, and the last person, Brody, who I do want to talk about. I'm not sure how old he is. I read some articles saying he was 15, some 18.
I read 15. I read a few things. So
I'm not actually sure how old Brody was, but each of these people have their own stories. I don't know them. I know a little bit about Brody because he's actually part of this community on Post to Post, and he's a subscriber, and he has been for a very long time, up to 9 months. And I took the opportunity to go back through all of the videos to see how much he's commented and what he's commented and what he had to say about certain things. He's actually commented over 50 times in the past 9 months. He was a very active viewer here on Post to Post, and not just Post to Post, other channels as well. Yeah. And so he really loved the hockey community on YouTube. He contributed, and I wanted to show you his first comment on the channel, his a comment that happened just a couple of weeks ago, and then his last comment on the channel. So I'd like to show you guys that. So the first comment was 9 months ago, and it was about a video we did, the best player on every NHL team.
Oh yeah.
So he took the time to list every single team and say who he thought was the best player on every single team. So that's a pretty good engagement there. He's taken the time to really go through every single team. And one thing about Brody is he didn't just comment on the Winnipeg videos, or he just didn't comment on the Vancouver videos. Yeah. He knew his stuff. He was commenting on all of the team's videos. He really followed the entire league, and he worked he was a volunteer statistician for the Humboldt Broncos. That was it wasn't his job, but that was that's what he did.
His passion, for sure.
His passion.
Yeah.
And I think that translated to some of the comments he left as well. He's a very bright young man, and it's unfortunate that we lost him. But that was his first comment. That was 9 months ago. And then just 2 weeks ago, we actually released the SJHL logo ranking video, and it's kind of ironic in a way because the day that we filmed that, we also filmed I think 14 other videos, and that was at the beginning of January. And it just so happened that was the last video that I decided to release, which was 3 weeks ago, in March. So, and he commented on that video. He said, "Nice to see you put the logo as my profile at number 3. I actually work for the Humboldt Broncos in their analytical department as their head statistician, hence the reason I have it as my profile picture. If you ever need to know more about the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, like arenas, stats, anything for future videos, you can contact me on Twitter at his handle there, or my personal email. I've kind of crossed that out for any more, as I'd be pleased to help with anything."
That's tremendous.
I mean, not only was he engaging in comments on videos about certain topics, he was willing to take his time to help us out if we ever needed any information about his team or the league itself. So clearly a very generous person, and a person who really cared about hockey. And then his last comment, which was only 5 days ago, or I took the screenshot yesterday, so I guess it would have been 6 days ago, and it was about the Sedins video that we just filmed like last week. And he said, "The Sedins are first ballot Hall of Famers, and it's a shame that they will never win a cup."
I remember reading that comment at the time and agreeing with it.
Definitely.
I've probably noticed Brody's name a few times in the comments. I don't read the comments nearly to the degree you do. But I remember reading that one, and that would have been just, what, a day or two?
Yeah, I recognize his name, and someone contacted me on Twitter and said, this person who was commented on your videos is actually a part of that tragedy. And I thought I was being trolled for a second. I said, are you serious? Because people have tried to do that to me before, not obviously in this situation like this, but people try and play tricks on me and just be stupid. But my first thought was this person's trying to troll me or something. And then the news came out, the names started to release and stuff, and unfortunately it confirmed that it was actually him. So very tough. It's extremely unfortunate. One of the main reasons I'm making this video is because Sylvie Kellington is a mother of one of the players on the team. She's actually started a GoFundMe, and they're raising all kinds of money for the families, for the team, and everyone involved in that whole situation. I'm going to link it below. It's going to link it in the description. I'll put it as a pinned comment as well. If you feel like donating money, please click that link, and the money is going to go directly towards the team. I could run a contest, I could start a fundraiser myself or do something like that, but Sylvie's already done the work. She has this all set up. She's in contact with the owners of the team, and that's where all the money is funneling anyway. So the best thing I could do is just to point you guys there if you want to donate any money. It's up to, last time I checked, it was over $3 million.
I saw 4 point something.
Oh, it's up to 4
this morning. Yeah.
So that's really
incredible. If
you want to donate money or anything, that's really where you want to funnel any funds, and that's going to go directly to the team. And that's just the best place to do it. I did want to mention, I know a lot of people watch this channel, or all of the people who watch this channel also watch The Hockey Guy, and he released a video about maybe wanting to do some kind of like a floor hockey fundraiser.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was a good idea. It's not something that I could do here because we live in PEI. I think 4 out of the 31,000 subscribers are from PEI, so I just don't live in an area where I could do something like this. So anyone who maybe doesn't watch The Hockey Guy and watches us, maybe I thought that I could bring some awareness to what he's doing, because I think it's important. So I don't know if he has gone beyond just the idea of it. He made a video on it, so go check it out. Let him know that you're interested if you live in his area. I believe he lives in Abbotsford, just outside of Vancouver, somewhere in that area.
Lower mainland of BC.
So if you're in that area, please go watch his video and let him know you're interested and take part in that. So that should be pretty fun and a good idea on his part. And so again, just it's a terrible thing that happened. We don't know the cause yet. I'm not going to read the names of the people who passed away because some of them still aren't confirmed and mistakes have been made. I don't want to spread false news, I guess. So
yeah, it's there are no words, and a million people have said that already on television. The media has tried to do this coverage. I think they've done as good a job as they can do, but they still fall back on these cliches like the people of Humboldt are trying to come to grips with this tragedy. Well, you don't come to grips with it. You just don't.
Yeah.
You don't come to terms with it. You don't make a deal with the tragedy so that everything's okay after some period of time. It's never going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's never going to be okay. Now, I don't know what the actual cause. I've seen aerial photos of the intersection, and in one direction there's stop signs, and in the other direction it's the right of way. And from what I understand, the bus had the right of way, but
I've read lots of comments from people from Saskatchewan say that they know that intersection very well, and that it's a rumor at this point because nothing is officially released by the police, but they have said that the truck driver was at fault. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying those are the comments that I read from people from Saskatchewan. We'll know soon once the police release their investigative report or whatever.
Yeah. It's just awful. I'm used to be a hockey dad myself. I can't imagine like when your teams would play in the same kinds of situation. You're going from town to town. We lived in a small town that had one arena and one team. So if we're going to play anybody, we have to travel, or someone has to travel to our town. So travel is an integral part of minor hockey, and in this case, junior hockey. You just can't do it. In a great big city where there's lots of arenas and you're only going across town, maybe it's a little different, but in rural Canada, which is basically all of the hockey soul of Canada, it's travel. And these kinds of things just, like a lightning bolt out of the blue, and the next thing you know, you've got just utter devastation. And I thought the CBC did a great job on Hockey Night in Canada. I thought the Winnipeg Jets and Chicago Blackhawks in that game did
that
a
was really
fantastic
special
gesture. They all got in a circle together, interspersed amongst all the teams mixed together. I thought they'd all do that, but in the Montreal-Toronto game, they were back on their blue lines, normally where they are.
Yeah.
They had the stickers on their helmets, and everyone has a different way of recognizing it. But other games, other junior games and NHL games found their way to try to pay tribute to the game. This is Canada. It's the sport that we have such a passion for. We have such love for our young men and women who play hockey because it's their passion. Most of these kids, they were junior A. So, the more elite kids are playing major junior. They're playing in the CHL, the WHL, the QMJHL. So these are kids that are probably past the point of being discovered, maybe some of the older ones especially. So they're just playing because they loved it.
Just a small opportunity that they might get noticed, and you never know.
You never know, and it's just heart-wrenching.
And I think even the Winnipeg Jets and the Chicago Blackhawks even had Broncos. Every player had Broncos.
Every player, that's right.
On the back of their jersey.
Every player had Broncos written on the back. And the announcement prior to that was very touching. It was extremely well done. How they could get the Broncos merch included in stuff, like the stickers. The Toronto Maple Leafs, they had Mike Babcock at one point, just before the evening game. He was talking, and there was a Toronto Maple Leafs background. So you had Toronto Maple Leafs, Air Canada, Broncos.
Yeah.
Interspersed throughout the entire background. How do you do that in an hour? I don't know. They had a great Alan Vigneault, I've got him on the brain. Claude Julien and Mike Babcock gave a joint interview prior to the game. They shook hands, not really hugged each other, but pretty close to that. Spoke off of each other. Before a hockey game happens, I don't care when it is, that never happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Unless there's a reason to make that happen. And there was a very good reason for these guys to come together.
And I believe the coach of the Edmonton Oilers, Tom McClellan, and his name, Glenn Gulleton?
Yeah.
Calgary Flames. Both of them actually went to that hometown and visited with some families and stuff, and so it's, everyone's coming together, everyone's doing the best that they can, and so far, like we said earlier, a lot of money's been raised, and it's going to help the families a lot to move on and recover, but obviously there's
all the money in the world won't fix what happened. And
exactly, yeah. So
it just goes to show you how precious life is, and how if you have kids, if you have brothers or sisters, whether they're playing hockey or not, hug your kids and keep them close, and because you never know.
I mean, we live in Prince Edward Island. Saskatchewan is 3,500 kilometers away from us, or 4,000 or something like that. I don't know.
About that.
And you think that something like that wouldn't affect us, but here we have Brody himself, part of the community, part of our team and the U2 family.
And Post to Post is a worldwide thing, and Brody's comments were distributed around the world with the comments to this video. So anyone who's a frequent watcher of Post to Post videos and reads the comments underneath, you've all been touched by Brody. Yeah,
maybe you have spoken with Brody yourself in the comment section. Like I said, he's commented over 50 times in the past 9 months, so there's a very good opportunity that if you're watching at home, maybe you spoke with him in the comments. So it really affects everyone who watches this video, regardless of where you live. I think we should probably end it here. Just wanted to...
For the other players, for the other Brodies out there, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's...
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, if you want to donate any money, the link is down below to the GoFundMe website. And just a big thanks to Sylvie for setting that up and doing the work that she's doing and working with the team. Obviously, she's not only doing the work, but she's in a grieving process as well. I don't know if her son was one of the ones that passed away, but she's grieving regardless, and she's doing the work to make this happen. So kudos to her for sure. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it, and spread the awareness of that link, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios.